This is the story of a young rapper about your age. 16, the first time he performed on stage, the crowd gave him love. He was bitten by the bug. That adrenaline got in him and it was like a drug. Addicted to the shouts and the hollers and the screams. That was the sound of him following his dreams. It echoed in his mind while he's falling off to sleep. And yes, you might have guessed now that young rapper was me. Now the years went by and my confidence grew, as did my arrogance, and it was obvious too, because I was so happy to boast and brag about why I am an exceptionally talented guy. All right, I might be from Huddersfield, but that isn't important when you go and win a world championship in New York. Man, your origins are nothing. I'm not into pigeonholing, not while the list of my accomplishments are growing. I'm on fire. My competition are just little embers, apprentices in my embassy, and I'm the emperor. Need I emphasize my head stretched to the size of mega minds? I'm clever as Edison, Einstein and Tesla combined. Blessed when it comes to connecting rhymes. I suggest you recognize I'm one of the best alive. Whew. Let me catch my breath. I'm fine. So yeah, I guess I was quite a big-headed guy. Then one day, a friend of mine asked the question, why does every line I write start with the letter I? He said, you're a talented lyricist who's pursuing a skill. You can come up with like 100 rhymes and do it at will. But of all the things to talk about in the universe and from the whole dictionary, you decided to choose the word I. Well, I spy with my little I. Lyrics beginning with I. From a guy who's learned how to rap but hasn't learned why. A whole world of potential that he's yet to realize. I mean, sure, there's nothing wrong with bars for bars' sake. But life is full of joy, pain, love, and heartbreak, and that's a diverse collection of components. You should be inspired by such a wide spectrum of emotions. Yeah, you could rap, that's great, that mate, but I need you to go deep and write from that place. Well, from that day forward, I couldn't ignore it. I've been shown a new world, and I had to go explore it. But before I could go there and discover that place, there was an enemy inside that I first had to face. So here's an invitation to the deepest part of my mind where you'll find out what all my secrets are, where a subconscious stew of thoughts bubble away, and there's only a couple of them I would ever say, so today's your lucky day. Full disclosure, when I looked inside, this voice took over. It said, everything is all about me. The world revolves around me. Can we talk about me? I want to stand on center stage in the spotlight because the power that it gives me makes me godlike. All eyes on me, I feed off attention. I want more likes, more retweets and mentions. I hate it when I see other people succeed. Only one person should be winning, just me. The rest of the world only serves my mission. I focus on me, they just blur my vision. I don't need any real relationships. I turn a conversation into a dictatorship and make everything all about me. The world revolves around me. Can we talk about me? I want more fans, more listeners, more shows, more power, more influence, more dough, more followers, more praise, more love. Give me more. But more will never be enough. You see, all of us want to be whole, complete souls, but most of us have these deep holes. We try and fill them by making ourselves heroes. That's also how we end up feeding our egos. And it was my ego, how naively I followed my ego. And wherever he'd go, I'd go. And now I know why I wrote the word I so much. But a strange thing has changed now that I've grown up. I learned everything is not about me. And it was just low self-esteem that made me want it to be. See, when you look at the core, the main principle of a musician is to give you stuff to listen to. That's all it is. That's really the purpose. When you break it down, it's just a service. It's a chance to enhance the life that you're living, not a vehicle for me to take an ego trip in. It's just a service from me to you. And I can only take so much credit for what I do, because I didn't invent music. I didn't design your ear. I don't even know the science behind why it's nice to hear, and I don't own the copyright to the English language. These things were already here, and I just take advantage. A performer and an audience. What's one without the other? Nothing. We're completely dependent on one another. A reciprocal relationship of value and trust that was never about me and was always about us. When you focus on yourself, you miss the bigger picture. And it's a beautiful world that you're oblivious to. Your whole life is dulled and you're not fully living when you're thinking about getting and not about giving. So I took that idea and I put it in a song about how when you're self-obsessed, all the things you miss out on. I went to that deep place, and this is where this came from. It's a story with two characters, a mother and a son. At 7 years old, he was king of the road when he rode his BMX bicycle on his own, and she chased after him, proud and concerned. He pedaled with all he had and remembered all that he'd learned. She shouted, "Brake before you turn," but he just wanted to make the rubber burn. With no stabilizers or hands on his shoulders, with sheer joy he yelled out, "Mom, I'm getting older." At 15 he was growing up fast, talking back, smelling the smoke and growing a tash. And she was working overtime and had a short fuse. He wanted more freedom, she wanted more rules. He'd fallen for a girl and had a chance to stay alone at her place while her mom and dad's away. She said, "No, you'll come home like you're supposed to." He said, "I'm not a little kid, Mom, I'm getting older." And our lives become shaped as silently as clouds in the breeze. And time slips away. Guess them hours were not ours to keep. And oh, your face reminds me. At 21, he was ready for the world, eager for success, independence, and for girls. And she helped him pack his bags when he moved out and drove him 200 miles down to his new house. Bubbling with anticipation, he unpacked. She said, "If you ever need to, you could come back." He said, "I appreciate that, but them days are over. I need my own space now, Mom, I'm getting older." Then at 30, he found himself stuck, single and broke with his career in a rut. And she listened while he told her all his woes with a patient ear for him while they spoke on the phone. She said, "You know, we finally paid off our mortgage so we could help with rent if you have a money shortage." He said, "Nah, I should be a homeowner and I should settle down now, Mom, I'm getting older." And our lives become shaped as silently as clouds in the breeze. And time slips away. Guess them hours were not ours to keep. And oh, your face reminds me. By 35, he had figured it out. Found himself with a wife, a couple kids and a house. And she would babysit the children every Sunday night so he could have some alone time with just his wife. He'd come back and tell her all about raising kids, how he loved it, but how the pressure was changing him, how his hair's getting grey and thin. And when he showed her, they both laughed when he said, "Mom, I'm getting older." Then at 46, he was always working, rarely with his family, so he saw it as a burden. And she told him, "Take the pressure off yourself." He said, "It's not as simple as that. See, I'm compelled and the kids have gotten older and I've picked for an extension and I've booked a holiday and there's the mortgage and the pension and I'm not getting no younger, retirement's getting closer and I can't afford to risk it. I mean, Mom, I'm getting older." And she just listened. She always did, but now she's lost her vision, so listen is all she could do these days. She smiles and lines consume her face, and her body's so frail. Her hair's now bright silver, and there's 10 conditions she takes pills for. And she said, "We have come so far." And I know you're getting older, my dear, but we all are. These are the times that we're alive in, Everyone is dividing, the individual's rising, and narcissism is thriving. Social media addiction kind of seems like a religion, devoted to images to the point we're worshiping them. Though we don't know what the long-term effect on our mental health is, we seem to only care how many likes are on our selfies. Celebrity culture reinforces the thought that a single life is way more important than us all. Even most politicians in positions of power tend to put their own ambitions before ours. So everywhere you look, the message is just think about yourself, and you don't have to worry about anybody else. But the key to true self-esteem and real value is being part of something which is larger than you. I said the key to true self-esteem and real value is being part of something which is larger than you. And so whatever you do in the following years, and however you develop your hobbies and careers, just remember that your skills are a privilege to have. Don't just use them for yourself. Think bigger than that. And please don't reduce your life to just serving your ego, because there's potential in a person, but there's power in the people. All the best.